Good question, and it's an important question. How do I develop clarity? See, my mind can think only from the data of what it has. So my experience, my life has taught me certain things. And because of that, I understand what is good, what is bad. The first thing is I have to appreciate that what I know, that's not complete. That means I have to expand my horizon. I have to learn different ways of thinking, different ways of looking at the world. With the experience and with the more and more exposure, and third thing, with the more and more contemplation. What we call it is, in Hindi, we call it manan, reflection. Reflection will turn your experience into insight. Make a note of it. Reflection will turn your experience into insight. I attended a class. I liked certain things. I did not like certain things. I made my notes. That is what? That is like eating food. I have eaten the food. Maybe I have understood. So I have digested the food. But that's not where the story ends. I have to assimilate the food. The food has to get inside my body and turn into human cells. Assimilation has to happen. Now, the knowledge what I have got today in the class, that knowledge it has gone inside. It has given me the understanding. But then I have to go through those notes and I have to ask my own questions around it. What do I make out of it? Do I agree with this point, whatever Mr. XYZ told? Do I disagree? When we do this contemplation, what happens? Out of an experience comes an insight. I went to a place, I went to Tirupati, I went by bus or I went by train or I went by a car and I did this, I did that, I did that. Whole thing happened, experience happened. I came back. Now, do I have the time to reflect? How did I go? What happened? What should I have done? Where I went wrong, where I went right? What should have been better? If I do this little bit of reflection on this, I get an insight. I think this is a better method than that. There is always a learning happens. Unfortunately, most people in today's world do not have time to do this contemplation. They want ready-made. So what happens when we do ready-made thing? When ready-made opinions are taken from people, we may sound very intelligent, but there will not be any conviction behind it because they are not my things. They are somebody's thing. Okay. And whenever it is somebody else's idea, my conviction is half. My conviction is not there. Okay. Anything is yours. My mother, my father, my brother, my organization. When you say my, there is a different kind of involvement. When it is somebody's, you may be concerned, but involvement is not that much. Whatever your ideas are there, whatever your understanding is there today, I should do computer engineering. Ask a question to yourself. Why do you conclude so? I should do UPSC. What makes you conclude so? So one answer is, everybody is doing that. Oh, see, collector's life is very good. See, IPS officer's life is very good. These are all things which are told to you by world. Have you examined? Okay, let me see a collector's office. Let me tomorrow go and look at a collector's office. Let me try to look at the place there. Maybe my father's friend who's a collector, let me visit in his office and try to talk to him. How's your life? Let me see the practical thing. And then ask, will this life suit to me, my temperament? This is what I want. And you will get the real answer. First one was taken up answer, but now I'm exploring. So there is a time which life, experiences will teach you. Exposure. I was taking a session just last week to some of the lawyers and judges. I asked them a question that there are many 13, 14, 15-year young children, teenagers, who can drive a vehicle well. You give them a skill test, they will defeat many adults. They can drive very well. They can pass the license test. So do you think we should reduce the age of giving a license? Why should it be remaining to 18? There was some discussion, and to drive a point, I asked this question. And the answer came that no, we cannot give it before 18, not just because it's a law, but we should not give. Because Even though I may have the skill, I don't have the exposure. I don't have the road exposure. I don't have the temperament. I don't have the patience. I don't know if there is an accident, how to handle road rage. I'm not seeing others enough. And therefore, I need that exposure. Even though I know how to drive a car, I need that exposure. Similarly, enrich your life with insights. And how do you get insight? Insights is insight, not from others. Not take insights cannot come from YouTube. Okay, you can get an idea, but only when you churn it, contemplate it, that becomes insight. So please spend some dedicated time in contemplating. You watch something, you see something, after that give a thought process. How many books are you reading? How many different kind of people you are meeting? Or I'm in a fixed pattern, tunnel vision. My world is like this only. Just because my father was a government officer, my mother was a government officer, they have told me the world is getting into government job. There's a dream of so many people. They're still living into that tunnel vision. I'm not telling dream is good or bad. I'm telling they have not seen the world because that's what have been shown to them and they don't want to open it. So open and try to see different perspectives. Get enriched by experiences. Don't judge them. Just experience and then come to your conclusion. There's a saying by Emerson. He says, foolish consistency is a hobgoblin of weak mind. Weak mind say, I'm doing this because I have been doing this. I'm doing this because mere dada pardada ne kiya tha. No, you have to create your own understanding. Yes, while being humble, while being receptive, while giving respect to others' views and traditions and custom. I'm not telling to be a rebel and just disregard everything. But please see that you have your own understanding. That's where the clarity will come. It is a journey and it's a fascinating journey. Start getting into reflection, start asking questions, start seeking more and more experiences, start looking world from different viewpoints. That will give you a big picture of the world. Presently, I'm looking at my world like this. Take this little back, and you will see a big picture. And that will give you a better idea, better clarity. I hope I made my point. I think we'll stop here.